The electric type, known for its capabilities of applying paralysis and its affiliation with the Pokémon mascot Pikachu. This type is tied for the least amount of weaknesses for a singular type, but only is super effective against 2 types. However, when paired up with certain types, it can improve its offensive capability. So here we go, calculating the best electric type combination. To calculate the greatest type combination for this video, I will be using this formula. Hopefully I can simplify it and explain this quickly. So basically a type combination will gain 2 points for each type it is super effective against, and a bonus 1 point if both of its affiliated types are super effective against the same type. It will lose 2 points for each weaknesses, an additional loss of 3 points if it has a double weakness. It will gain half a point for each resistance, another half point for every double resistance, lose 2 points if both types are resisted by the same type, gain 2 for each immunity, and lose 2 for each liability, which are types that are immune against it. Hopefully you understood that. If there is a tiebreaker, I will just choose. And since we are dealing with the electric type, I will only talk about the combination's liability to ground if it involves more than just the ground type, since all electric types has this characteristic. In 17th, and the worst electric type combination is electric and grass. This combination is super effective against 4 types and a double super effective against water. It has 4 resistances with a double resistance to electric. It also has 4 weaknesses, and both grass and electric are resisted by grass and dragon. Final score, negative 2.5. In 16th is electric and dragon. This type combination is only super effective against 3 types with 6 resistances. It has a double resistance to electric and also has 4 weaknesses. It has a liability to both the ground and fairy type. Final score, negative 2.5. In 15th is electric and psychic. This combination is super effective against 4 types with 5 resistances. It also has 4 weaknesses and is a liability to both dark and ground. Final score, negative 1.5. In 14th is electric and normal. This combination is only super effective against 2 types with 3 resistances. It also has 2 weaknesses and is a liability to both ghost and ground, but it has an immunity to ghost. Final score, negative 0.5. In 13th is electric and poison. This type combination is super effective against 4 types with 8 resistances. It also has 2 weaknesses, one of them being a double weakness to ground, and is a liability to both ground and steel. Final score, 1. In 12th is electric and rock. This combination is super effective against 5 types with a double super effective against flying. It also has 5 resistances with both electric and rock resisting flying, and it has 4 weaknesses with a double weakness to ground. Final score, 1. In 11th is electric and ice. This combination is super effective against 5 types, both of them are super effective against flying, with 3 resistances. It also has 4 weaknesses and a final score of 2.5. In 10th is electric and dark. This type combination is super effective against 4 types with 5 resistances. It also has 4 weaknesses and the immunity to psychic. Final score, 2.5. In 9th is electric and water. This combination is super effective against 5 types with 5 resistances and a double resistance to steel. It also has 2 weaknesses and is resisted by both dragon and grass. Final score, 3. In 8th is electric and fire. This type combination is super effective against 6 types with 8 resistances. It is double resistance to steel and also has 3 weaknesses, one of them being a double weakness to ground. Both fire and electric are resisted by dragon. Final score, 3.5. In 7th is electric and ground. This combination is super effective against 7 types with 4 resistances. It also has 4 weaknesses and the immunity to ground, but however is a liability to both ground and flying. Final score, 4. In 6th is electric and ghost. This combination is super effective against 4 types with 5 resistances. It also has 3 weaknesses and the immunity to both normal and fighting, but a liability to both normal and ground. Final score, 4.5. In 5th is electric and steel. This combination is super effective against 5 types with 11 resistances. It has a double resistance to both steel and flying and has 3 weaknesses with a double weakness to ground. It has the immunity to poison and a final score of 5.5. In 4th is electric and bug. This combination is super effective against 5 types with 4 resistances and 2 weaknesses. Final score, 6. In 3rd is electric and fighting. This combination is super effective against 7 types with 5 resistances and 3 weaknesses. It is also a liability against both ghost and ground. Final score, 6.5. In 2nd is electric and flying. This combination is super effective against 5 types with 5 resistances. It also has 2 weaknesses and the immunity to ground. However, both electric and flying are resisted by electric. Final score, 6.5. In first place and the best electric type combination is Electric and Fairy. This combination is super effective against 5 types with 5 resistances. It also has 2 weaknesses and the immunity to Dragon. Final score, 8.5. Yeah, that's my calculation of the electric types. Since the electric type is basically useless against the ground type, it needs to be paired up with another type to handle these problems. Outside of that, it's pretty good. And yeah, that's the end of the video. That's about it.